Good afternoon, everyone. This is Queenie Clem with Queenie's Book Talk and Reviews, and I am your literary ambassador. And today, I have a special guest on my channel. Please introduce yourself to the audience, please.
Hello, everybody. I am C.D. Giles, and I am a contemporary romance writer, and I write the Love Blossom series, which is a Texas romance series.
Okay. And when did you start writing?
Wow. So throughout the years, I've always written like little snippets and things like that, but I never, took the time to kind of sit down and really write the story. And it really wasn't until the pandemic and I had a lot of free time. I wasn't traveling like I used to for business. All the events that I used to have around family birthdays and things like that, we kind of all put those to the side to make sure we were taking care of our elders. We were doing the right thing and being proactive. So it was during February of 2021 that I was having a dream one night. I was actually sitting in this office and was dreaming about the opening scene in book one of Could This Be Love? And I remember thinking of, as I was watching myself in the office typing it, and I was actually typing out the words, and I was saying things like, "Ooh, I like their banter. Oh, I like their chemistry," and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And I kept telling myself, "Whatever you do, don't forget." And so I would write what I was saying in my dream, and then try to repeat it back to myself in my dream, and I was starting to forget it, Queenie. So I jumped up and I said, "Oh my God, I'm starting to forget it." So I jumped out of bed. It was between like 2, 3 in the morning. I can't remember exactly the time, and just grabbed my computer and took it to the dining room table and sat down and wrote for 4 hours straight. And that was
Wow.
the beginning. And then I finished the book. It took me about 8 weeks to finish the book, and then all the editing process. And it was published in July of last year, my first book, and then my second book was published in August of this year.
Right, right. What are the most important elements of good writing for you?
For me, I want to make sure that I'm writing characters that people will like and love, and that they can get into their story, kind of follow their journey, and it's engaging. It's an engaging storyline, and it's a storyline. Hopefully, that especially African American women. I'm writing for 25 plus and up, and want them to make sure that they're seeing women that are strong, and we're kind of overcoming those negative stereotypes and having more positive stereotypes, seeing women, young boss girls, bosses that are doing their thing and living their life, and have a great living, and are unapologetic and strong.
How do you develop your plot and characters?
Oh, this has been the fun part. So like I said, for the first book, it came to me in a dream, and then I just let the story develop like it needed to develop. And then for the second book, I had a pretty good idea of what, when I think of my heroine, Gabby, and what were those other things. I wanted to expand on her story a little bit more, kind of tell the readers what it was that made her who she was, and why she hadn't dated in 3 years since her last relationship, and why she was focused so much on her career at this point. And you get to learn more about that in book two. And then for my other stories, I have a ton of stories I cannot wait to tell. I have all these different story plots that I've already they're just coming from everywhere. Every time I get a thought, I write it down so I don't forget it. So I am already starting to write in books 3 and 4 of this current series, expanding on. So Jake is a twin. So, and his friend is introduced, his best friend is introduced in book one. So book three is going to be a trope of the best friend's sister. So it's going to be Jackie and Travis.
Mhm.
And then book four is going to be Samantha, who's introduced in book one. And CJ in book two is also Jake's other best friend. And Samantha and CJ are going to have a story expanding on just telling about their romance, their journey, how they come together. and then we'll just continue out, that series. So I'm excited about it. And then I have a rock star series that I'm working on, and then also a sports theme series that I have ideas, and every time I get a chance, I write something down about. So definitely a lot more to come.
Wow. What is the most surprising thing that you have discovered while writing your books?
I think for me, it was funny when I remember telling my mom, and God rest her soul, she passed away this past August from uterine cancer, and she told me to keep writing. That's all she told me. She said, baby, keep writing. But I remember telling her, Mom, I've written a book. And she told me, she said, oh, we got a ton of authors in our family. Like I didn't even know. I didn't even know I came from a line of authors. And so just hearing that has given me kind of that engine and that steam to just keep going. And I'm enjoying every last minute of it. I truly am.
Wow, wow. Could this be love? Tell us about this particular book.
Yeah, so Could This Be Love? And I'm going to show you a picture of it real quick just so you can see the cover. But this is a story, it's really a summer romance. They meet on a cruise. And the last thing that Gabby, first of all, is a workaholic. And even though she's on vacation for the first time in forever, she really plans to work the whole vacation. She bought the super internet package, and she's just planning to work because she's a venture capitalist and work never ends.
Mhm.
And so, what's funny about it is, though, on the very first day of the cruise, while they are in line, her and Samantha are on the cruise together. And Samantha meets Derek, this guy, while they're checking in, and abandons Gabby. So now Gabby has the 7-day cruise, and she's trying to figure out what she's going to do. And after working an 8-hour day, I don't want to give too much of it away, but after working an 8-hour day, she needs a drink. She goes to this bar that's in the middle of the ship, and it's one of those things that's on hydraulics, and it goes up 6 stories. And that's where she meets Jake on the first night. And Jake has an instant, he feels the electricity and the connection with them, and he wants to make sure that he locks it in for a date for the next day, because this is one of those mega ships that has over 5,000 passengers. So he doesn't want to take a chance that he just might happen to run into her on another day. So he makes plans right away to make sure he can see her the next day.
Wow. What inspired you to write this book?
I think, my daughter and her friends, my daughter's in her 30s, and I just hear what they talk about, they're looking for love and trying to find love, and the guys that are there, and I wanted to let them know that there are good guys out there, and give them some hope that there are some Jakes in the world that can just be what they need, but give them their space and let them still be strong, and he not be intimidated by their strength, and really wants to be a partner with them.
The cover is beautiful. Tell us the process of the book cover.
Yes. So I actually used, it's a book designer. They have a platform called Fiverr, and I found my book designer there, and we have developed such a great relationship. I've used him for the second book cover as well. And, I was able to tell him what my vision was, what I was trying to portray, something fun, something flirty. And he really got all those elements. I wanted something bright and lively, and he really captured all of that for me.
Okay, you read an excerpt from your book, please.
I sure can. So for Could This Be Love, this is actually the opening scene and the one that I had in my dream. So right now I am reading from Gabby's point of view, and it starts with, I walk up to the bar on a mission. I've earned this drink after working 8 hours straight while on vacation. Hi, I look down at the bartender's name tag, and it says Mark from Poland. So then I whisper, can I have a sex on the beach? I hear someone chuckle beside me. Darn, I guess I didn't actually whisper that embarrassing cocktail name as quietly as I thought I did. I look to the right, and I find the sharpest green eyes that I've ever seen. I swear that he's looking right through me, and that light scruff that he has going on is doing things to my lady parts that have lain dormant for way too long. So, sex on the beach. Is that on your to-do list on this cruise? Oh my. No, I mean, I don't know. I'm just going to shut up now. I can't believe he's talking to me. Why the hell am I stuttering? Oh, sorry, I cussed. You know why, Gabby? This white boy is Fine. That's all in capital letters. Okay, Gabby, play it cool. He can't tell that it's been 2 years, 3 months, 10 days since your last non-electronic induced blank. I won't say the word. So now from Jink's point of view, this girl is beyond beautiful. She has light caramel skin with long, light brown straight hair and blonde highlights. Her eyes look like they're hazel green, and her body is beyond perfection. She's wearing a sleeveless turquoise maxi dress that's fitted, showing off her trim waist and her toned arms. I'm so checking her out right now, but I'm trying to be cool about it, while trying not to, trying to take maybe a little sneak peek here and there at some of her assets. I go with keeping my eyes above the chest and chuckle because this girl is a riot. I already feel lighter just from being around her. I can't stop smiling. So I say, "Hi, Sex on the Beach. I'm Jake." As I reach over to shake her hand, she doesn't immediately try to take my hand. So I add, "This is where you give me your name." She goes, "Yes, yeah, you're right. That is how it's supposed to work. I'm Gabby." I'm glad that he didn't give me his last name. I just met this guy. My dad drilled it into me. You need to always be cautious. So I say, "I hope that you don't mind me asking, but why are you in this bar alone?" I came to this cruise with my best friend. We had everything planned. Then she met a guy while we were in line waiting to check in. They hit it off and have been together ever since. How about you? I need some time to decompress. So my friend wanted to go to the nightclub. I wanted something quieter, so here I am. I looked down and didn't even realize I'd finished my drink. But before ordering a drink for myself, my mom always raised me to be a gentleman first. So I asked, "Gabby, would you like another drink?" She nods yes, so I raised my finger to signal another round from the bartender.
Wow. Oh, yes. What are the key messages you're trying to portray, get out in this book?
The key messages is more about try to just get out of your own way and live in the moment. And you just never know where you might find happiness.
Oh, yes,
Mhm.
yes. Now, how, what was the inspiration behind this book?
Yeah, I really do think from an inspiration perspective, it really was, as I think about my daughter and her friends, and they're all in their 30s, and they're looking for love and would like to, find someone that's a significant other, and just hoping in a way, in my own little way, that I'm subtly trying to say, just make sure you're keeping all your options open, and then also just be open to love.
Mhm. Now, your next book is in the Love Blossom series. Is For You Love.
Mhm.
Briefly describe this book.
So this book, it actually picks up the very same week right after they get off the cruise. So there's not any, a long break in
Mhm,
between.
mhm.
And so I really wanted to make it a sequel, a continuation. And so what you'll get to see, first of all, they discover while they're on the cruise that Gabby lives in Austin, Texas, and Jake lives in Houston, Texas. So it's about 300 miles, 200-ish, about separate. And Jake's not going to let that deter him. A long distance relationship doesn't scare him one in a bit. So yeah, so really he's going to spend a lot of the time in book two, making sure that he shows up for her and shows that he is in it for the long haul, and wants to be her man. And Gabby, she's dealing with just a lot of hurt from one specific relationship that occurred 3 years ago that was abusive, and so she's having to work through that, and trying to work through it in a way that she's not punishing Jake, but a lot of those scars are there and they continue to creep up, and could deter the relationship. So it's working through all of that and looking at things from her point of view, but also seeing how she rebuilt herself. So it's able, I'm hoping I'm also kind of sharing, subtly within this book that you can rebuild yourself, you can heal from hurt, and you can find the love of your life.
Right, right. Does one of the characters hold a special place in your heart? If so, why?
Yeah, I would say Gabby. She's if I can't say she's like me per se. I wouldn't say she's me. But she's a compilation of a lot of people that I know that are love and near and dear to my heart. And so Gabby would be my favorite.
What is the future for your characters?
So you're going to continue through the Love Blossom series. You will continue to see them, Gabby and Jake, as their life evolves. So they're not going away after book one and book two, and which I'm very excited about that. I already have some ideas in the works on what you'll be able to see in the future for them. And then even in my Rockstar series, even though they're an adjacent series, they may show up in that one as well. So I'm not making any 100% promises, but they may show up in another series as well if there's some characters that are in common or in this, either went to school together or at a project together or something like that.
All right. Can you read an excerpt from this book also?
I sure can. I sure can. So for this is For You to Love. So let me show you this cover. And can you
Gorgeous.
okay? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to read from Gabby's point of view. And like I said, this is going to be the very Saturday after they've gotten off the ship. Jake has come to Austin, Texas to have a date with her, and they just had brunch. So this is Gabby. Brunch at the Four Seasons on Town Lake delivers every time with a spread ranging from made to order waffles to eggs Benedict. I am now stuffed and glad that we're walking around the Domain, an outdoor mall with stores carrying designer brands, sorry. When Jake told me he would love to help me shop for a gown that I need for a Houston Gala for my mom chairs, I'm equally part shocked and ecstatic. I'm trying on my fourth dress, which is my favorite so far. It's a pink sleeveless Prada gown with soft gathers from the neckline to my waist. The best feature, the train drapes to my side, and it's going to allow me to make it easier to move when I'm walking through the crowd. Jake folded his 6'3" frame into a seat made for a large child. I'd find this funny if he wasn't watching me intensely with green eyes and a light scruff that makes me want to haul him home to have my way with him. He twirls his finger for me to turn around, and I'm happy to oblige. I'm smiling ear to ear. I'm trying to get used to how he looks at me. Well, what do you think? Honestly, I love it. You look like a goddess, but how do you like it? I love it. This may be the one, but I have 3 more gowns to try. I'm not rushing you. Remember, my mom groomed me practically from birth. Shopping takes as long as it takes. I took off the gown, but I have been trying unsuccessfully for the past 5 minutes to button up this next dress. I finally give up and say in an exasperated voice, Jake, do you mind coming here? Hey, I knew he couldn't resist. He slowly pushes me all the way into the dressing room. The glint in his eyes gives me a clue. The last thing he has on his mind is helping me get into this dress. When he turns me, he begins kissing me. I melt into him, and it isn't even in me to fight. I'm moaning softly, but I remember our surroundings and I step back. I glance up and notice Jake isn't even a little apologetic. I whisper, you're supposed to be helping me. I am helping. I can't. I giggle, I back up. I'm holding out my arm for him to stop. Okay, Gabby, I'll be good, but I can't promise I will be later. Turn around. Wow. Complicated doesn't even come close to describing this dress. There must be at least 20 buttons here. You'll need help when you get home trying to get dressed if you decide to get this one. Yeah, this may go to the no pile because of it, but I wanted a chance to try it first before I decided. I see Jake looking at me through the mirror with heat in his eyes, and I blush, even though I should be used to his attention by now. I suspect it's going to take me a minute. I need to clear my throat. I realize what you mean. I need you to just unbutton this dress a part of the way down and leave. Oh, am I being thrown out? And he makes me laugh because he says it like he's 7. You're too naughty for me to trust that you'll keep your hands to yourself. Okay, Gabby. I'm not going to say getting you naked right here, right now would be a good idea if I thought it would and I could get away with it, but I'm a patient man. I can wait. For now, here you go. I'll be outside.
Mhm. All righty. What were the key challenges you faced when writing your books?
Oh, I'm trying to stay true to the characters. I want this to be Gabby and Jake, not CD Giles talking. So I really take the time to get to know them. Jake is an architect. He comes from generational wealth. His grandfather started the firm. His dad now runs the firm. His grandfather passed away a year ago. So, you get to know in book 2 what, Jake is dealing with, from making sure he's making his own name, making sure that he is living up to, the legacy that his grandfather has left behind. Really talks about what motivates him as well.
Mhm.
And so I spent time really trying to make sure that I was getting into his frame of mind and what was important to him, and to try to get his story told as well.
What was your writing process like?
I have an interesting writing process. I'm not sure if other authors do it this way, but for me, I write what is given to me. And if that, when what I mean by that if the ending comes and I'm in the middle of the book, I will write the ending scene, and then I'll come back to the middle and kind of take. So it's not uncommon for me to kind of pop in and out from beginning, middle, and end as the scenes are coming to me. I wait till it comes to me to write it down versus trying to force something on paper.
Okay. What has been your greatest accomplishment thus far in your writing career?
It really is getting the books published and getting into the book world. I am having a ball, Queenie. I really am. Just the romance community is very helpful and loving, and just meeting other African American authors as well. Continuing to work on my craft and learning my voice, working on my voice. Continuing to grow in this space. I'm so excited. I'm already planning for 2023, and working on events and appearances. And again, I'm also doing a lot of conferences and training writers, working on even writing retreats and things of that nature, as I continue to just spend the time to develop in this world and grow as an author in this space.
How has your book life changed since the pandemic?
Wow. So having the main thing is now I have more time. And with the pandemic, it really gave me an opportunity to sit back and set what my priorities are, and really try to make sure that I'm doing, not saying yes to everything, not spreading myself too thin, and making sure that I preserve the time and really make sure that I'm making the space to write, the time to write. I usually write in the evenings, but I can't wait to get to the keyboard each night and see what story is going to unfold.
What are you currently working on right now?
Yeah, so I'm currently working on books 3 and 4 of the Love Blossom series. So with Jackie and Travis. And for that book, going into it, I'm saying it's going to be a Christmas novella, but I'm going to let the story develop. If it turns out to be a Christmas novella, great. If not, I'll let the characters tell me where the story's going to go.
Mhm.
And then I'm also, as scenes come up, because scenes are already, Samantha and CJ are already starting to talk to me. And so I'm capturing what they're telling me. Whenever they tell me something, I'm writing it down on the fourth book of the Love Blossom series as well. So yeah, have a few things in the hopper.
Okay. How can readers find you and your book?
Yeah, they can find me on my website. It's cdgiles.com. And my books are sold everywhere that books are sold. So on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Apple Books, Kobo. They can download the ebook immediately. I'm also on social media. I'm most active on Instagram. So they can find me under CD Giles Author is the handle. And if they're looking for me on Facebook, it's CD Giles. One of the goals that I have for myself in 2023 is I'm going to try to get more active on TikTok and on Facebook. That's my goal. So if they go out there, they're gonna say, "Oh, she don't have any followers yet." But I am working on making sure I spend more time on the other platforms as well. But like I said, I'm very active on Instagram.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to add before we close?
Just encourage folks to follow me on my social media platforms and my website. I'll be keeping, as I have events that I am booking in 2023, to go out there to the website so they can see where my events and appearances are going to be. I also have, if they want the first 3 chapters of Could This Be Love for free, they can go out on my website and sign up and get those. And then also, as I have news to share, either via a newsletter or whatever, I'll have them on my mailing list for that. And then, lastly, Queenie, I just want to say thank you. I really do. I appreciate the platform that you have, the love that you give us authors, all in the literary space, and especially in the romance space. And I appreciate your support. I really, really do.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for coming in today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And you have a good rest of your Saturday.
You too. This is Queenie Clem with Queenie's Book Talk and Reviews. Happy reading. Bye, y'all.
Bye bye.